What's up, guys? It's Dr. Fax here. I got some prop bets for week 10. We're going to go through some bets for you guys so we can make some money.
Nate, I know you've been looking forward to this game tonight. We got the Bengals possibly cooked, +6 at the Ravens. You got any bets tonight on BetMGM for the people?
Yes, I have a nice 5-pick parlay at plus 2,200 odds. So we have Andrei Iosivas receiving yards over 22.5. I think he's going to be a big part of their offense with T. Higgins not playing tonight. Joe Burrow looks for this guy a lot. And he's also another leg. The second leg is Andrei Iosivas for an anytime touchdown. Next leg, because Joe Burrow, his season is on the line. So I have Joe Burrow over 9.5 rushing yards.
Mm-hmm.
He ran for 55 in the first matchup.
Exactly. I think this is a game that all the rest of these games for Joe Burrow, I think he's going to run when he needs to. He's going to do everything he can. I think he's going to be trying to get the extra yards. So the 9.5 seems a little low. So taking the over. Next up, we have Mark Andrews plus 25 receiving yards. I think that's easy. The Ravens, they don't have Isaiah Likely playing. That's their other target. So I think main targets for tight ends, most likely go to your security blanket, Mark Andrews. So I'm going 25 receiving yards for him. And then longest leg, I'm going with Lamar Jackson to have 50 plus rushing yards, which I don't think is too crazy, but that'll get you plus 2,200 odds. I like that 5-pick parlay for tonight.
Lamar didn't run for very many yards last week against God's team, so he's due for a few.
Yeah.
It's a good call.
And it's Thursday night, so anything goes on Thursday night too.
And
Really nice.
a pick for the folks out there. Baltimore is 21-3 in primetime home games under Harbaugh and an 8-0 mark on Thursday Night Football.
Wow.
That's all tonight. Who is your first touchdown score tonight?
Again, we're going with Andrei Iosivas. We got a lot of money riding on Andrei Iosivas tonight. I think with T. Higgins out, and if I'm game planning for the Bengals, I'm doing everything I can to keep the ball out of Jamar Chase's hand.
Plus 1,800.
And also, Mike Gesicki is probably another good pick for that. But since he had the game he had last week, I also would think that if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm going to think about taking away Mike Gesicki also. So who does that leave? It leaves Andrei Iosivas. So let's hope the Bengals coin toss goes the right way, because a lot of these first touchdowns, it really depends on the coin toss, like if you really think about it. So hopefully that goes our way. Joe Burrow, you can go down the field, score first. Might be your only touchdown. Hopefully not, but we'll see.
What other Week 10 games do you have picks for this week?
Here we go, guys. So I have a few prop bets that I like. First one, Jonathan Taylor to combine for 125 rushing and receiving yards at plus 175. I like that because the Colts, if they have any chance of winning this game, I think Jonathan Taylor is going to have to be a big part of it. And also with Joe Flacco, he's a quarterback that he's going to make the right plays. He's going to check down when he needs to. So I think Jonathan Taylor, he might reap the benefits of that with those extra yards on top of him rushing the ball. Next up, going to God's team.
God's team.
And we're going with our guy, Cortland Sutton, to have 75 plus receiving yards, plus 200.
I think that's a great pick. He had back-to-back weeks over 100 yards receiving for the first time in his career.
Yep. And I think if I am Bo Nix, I'm a rookie quarterback. I don't know if this is his number one option, but they have chemistry. I think 75 is a good number if they're looking at trying to win this game, which I think they are. I think Sean Payne will probably have a great game plan for them. So I think that 75 plus at plus 200 is a great prop bet. And then Last but not least, another 75 receiving yards. I have George Kittle. We have a lot of intention on CMC returning this week, and all that's going to do is open up that middle. I think it's going to open up that middle for Purdy. The play action is probably going to look immaculate for them. So I think 75 yards for Kittle is a great prop for alternate yards. I don't know what his regular yards are, but even just taking it over, I think that'll probably be a good pick also. So
Road favorites over the last 2 decades coming off a bye, i.e. the San Francisco 49ers, cover at a 60% rate, 26 and 11, as the favorites of 5.5 or more points.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see what they're gonna do, because I know everyone's excited to see CMC back. Me especially, because I was one of those guys that has been suffering in fantasy football from picking CMC first. Injuries happen, but hopefully we're planning on running the tables.
It's going to be a Fax turnaround in fantasy.
And still make the playoffs. It's gonna
make it. Yeah,
it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Might have to make a movie about it.
The comeback, Dr. Fax's comeback. All right, is there a parlay? Everybody on Sunday wants to know Fax's parlay. We're sitting there, we're watching, our games, and then we hear you erupt when one guy goes for 15 yards because you needed him, to get 6, and he goes over. What is your Fax parlay for this weekend?
So this weekend, I'm getting excited and breaking stuff. So this weekend, my Fax parlay, it's 3 legs, all for 2 anytime touchdowns. And guys, $5, I get you $6K. That's the goal, guys. Trying to get you guys low entry, high reward. So the first 2 touchdowns we are going with. This is a hard game to choose from. The Giants versus the Panthers. I think a lot of weird stuff is going to happen in this game. This game is for us, 9:30 in the morning on the East Coast. They're in Germany. Have we ever played a game in Germany, NFL?
Mm-hmm.
We have? Okay.
This is the fourth regular season NFL game
not a lot of
Germany.
Games
second in Munich.
Yeah, so see, second in Munich. Guys are traveling, daylight savings. A bunch of things are going to be crazy, but one thing for sure, I think every team, you're going to try to run the ball as much as you can. I think the Panthers, that's really all they have is Chubba Hubbard. And I think 2 anytime touchdowns by him at plus 750 is a great start to this parlay. It was hard to choose because I do like Tracy Jr. I like the way he runs also, but I'm gonna go with Chuba because the Panthers they rely. The Giants have couple more weapons. And Daniel Jones, like when they get in the red zone, he likes to run it in himself also. So we're going to go with Chubba Hubbard for that.
If you're a real sicko, why don't you just go Tyrone Tracy and Chubba Hubbard?
You can be. It might be one of those games in Germany. Anything could happen.
What's your next leg?
Next up, we're going with my Jaguars and Tank Bigsby. 2 anytime touchdowns, plus 1,000 versus the Minnesota Vikings. I feel like they're incorporating him more in the offense. He's a guy that maybe a few games ago, I had bet him. He had scored 2 touchdowns. I think he catches the ball out of the backfield well.
That was against the Patriots. 2 touchdowns against the Patriots. He also had 2 touchdowns against the Colts.
Exactly.
So not uncharted territory for
territory for him. I think the odds are a little bit higher because they're playing against a good defense in Minnesota. But I think the Jaguars, lately, they've had limited people who have been big-time playmakers for them, but Tank Bigsby has been, so we're going with him. And then the last leg, plus 1,200, 2 anytime touchdowns, we're going with Rhamondre Stevenson with the Patriots. I think that the Patriots, their offense runs through him. Drake May, he's came on the last couple of weeks. People are excited. They still suck. But
You're betting on 3 teams that suck.
yes. And that is kind of the formula behind this, because
The poo-poo
picking these
parlay.
bag teams, they're desperate. And then when you're trying to get a win, sometimes you have to stick to the basics. And I think when you think about football and trying to score, sticking to the basic is handing the ball off to your running back, getting them in the end zone as many times as you can. Hopefully for us, 6 touchdowns, $5, $6K for us. Holiday season, buy your kids some extra gifts, buy an extra big turkey for Thanksgiving. It's going to be lit. It's going to be lit.
This would be Stevenson's 3rd straight game with 2 touchdowns. He had 2 touchdowns against the Jets, 2 touchdowns against the Titans. Good things come in threes.
I mean, if you got a rookie quarterback, you can only throw the ball so much with him. You can only put him in so many positions. So you just hand the ball off, or you throw to your check down. You throw to the back, let him do the work, and make you look good. Get the stats up.
Week 10, Fax's props.
Props.
Make some money.
Let's get that money.